Welcome to Real Judaism with Rabbi Klapper. Unfiltered wisdom for Jewish life.
So here we go. We are live. This is a long parak, but Baruch Hashem, we're getting close to finishing it. I don't know if we're going to be finishing it today, but we're here on Daf Kuf Dalid, still discussing Ata Echad, because this parak, this paragraph of Ata Echad that we say in Mincha of Shabbos, is just so full of all the nekudas of Shabbos in one short paragraph, nekuda after nekuda, point after point about what the essence of Shabbos is. So that's why it's taking a long time to go through it. So we're up to here, right in the middle of Daf Kuf Daled, Menuchas Emes U'Muna. Shabbos is a menucha, a rest of love, and a rest of nedava. A nedava is a donation. Right? Nedava means like a nediv, is somebody who is generous. I'm giving something, meaning it's like a gift. It's a loving gift. That's what Shabbos is. But olamenu hamenucha b'harbe mikrim hi nachlasam shel atzlonim. Many times rest is another way of saying laziness. Right? Where did this come from? Open up a chumash to Parsha Shemos. You'll see something quite interesting. I'm going to tell you a very, very interesting pshat. In the end of Parsha Shemos, after Moshe Rabbeinu reveals himself, just by the way, it could be when Mashiach comes, also things aren't necessarily going to get better right away. Right? When Moshe Rabbeinu appeared on the scene, it seems like, wow, our salvation was here. And then things got worse. Things got worse before they got better. That's what happened. Paro decides, forget it, you guys, I'm taking away the straw now. Not only do you have to produce the same buildings, but you actually have to build the bricks make the bricks on your own. Not only you have to make the bricks on your own, you got to get the materials on your own too. I'm not giving you the materials anymore. So Paro actually made things worse when Moshe Rabbeinu came on the scene. When Mashiach comes, hopefully it won't be like that. Hopefully Mashiach will take us out of this golus. Leonovi Mashiach to come and take us out of this golus. We won't have to be suffer anymore. Amen.
For the past 5 years.
For the past more than 5 years, the past 2,000 years of golus that we have.
I'm saying the past 5 years we've been anticipating Mashiach, and then each time, boom, boom.
That's right, but we Afal Pishi is Mamea, Im Kol Zeh Chakelo. I'm still waiting. Every second, when is Mashiach coming? When is Mashiach coming? When's it happening? But I want to tell you an amazing pshat. At the end of Parsha Shemos, when Paro makes this terrible gezerah to take away the straw, that you don't even have the materials, you have to make it on your own, and Klal Yisrael became incredibly difficult for Klal Yisrael. Incredibly difficult. And they moaned, they groaned under the weight of this new gezerah. And they came to Paro, and they said, Paro, this is impossible. What do you want from us? It's totally impossible. We can't do it. So what does the pasuk say? The pasuk says, what did Paro say back? What did Paro say to the people, to the nitzigim, the ambassadors, the representatives of the people, of the slave nation? What did they say back? What did Paro say back to them? It says in the pasuk in Perek Hey, pasuk. 1 second. Just give me a second. Which pasuk is it? Here it is. Pasuk Yud Zayin. Vayomer. Paro said, Nirpim atem, nirpim. Loosely translated as, you're a bunch of lazies. Al kain atem oimrim neilcha nizbachal Hashem. That's why you're making an excuse that you want to go serve your God. Because you're lazy. That's really, you just don't want to work. You just don't want to work. So you make another excuse. Oh, we have to serve our God. The Ksav Sofer, the son of the Chassam Sofer, says this is the derech of Amarachim throughout the generations, to talk about people who want to really be Ovdei Hashem. They say is, oh, you don't really want to serve your God. You're just a bunch of lazies. You just want to be lazy. You know why you don't want to work on Shabbos? Because you're lazy. That's why. That's why. Not because it really has any meaning. It's just because you guys are a bunch of lazies. That's what Paro said to the Jewish people. You're a bunch of lazies. You really want to serve your God? No, you don't. You just want laziness. So that's what Pinkus is saying over here. Usually, many times, especially in the secular world, when you say you don't want to work, it's because you're lazy. My Rebbe told us that one time he went for a doctor's appointment. He had to have some kind of procedure done or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was. And he had to leave work for a while. And he came for the doctor's appointment, and he said, "Please, doctor, I need to go back to work. I have to go back to work. Please, give me."
On like a Monday.
Yeah, I want, my class is waiting for me. I need to go back to teaching. It's my life. I need to go back to teaching. And the doctor said to him, "Can I ask you something?" He said, "Yeah." "Can you come here and work for me?" Nobody here wants to work. Nobody. They all just want to be on vacation. Everybody just wants to be on vacation. Nobody wants to work. And my Rebbe went on to say, I don't know if about this office, but there was some person who said about themselves that they always keep a suitcase on their couch to remind them of the next vacation that's coming up. When's my next vacation? When's my next vacation? Nobody wants to work. You don't want to work. So when we're resting, what am I resting for? I'm resting because I don't want to work. That's rest. That's just laziness. And if you stop working, then you're not involved with building the world. Somebody who loves rest, and laziness. In the end, you become poor. If you don't work, you're not going to make money. Hey, I'm not working. How are you going to make money? Oh, I invested in the stock market. No, hedge fund. No, listen, you know what? You don't work? Who says you're getting anything? You're going to end up with very little. You don't work. You're not going to have parnasa. That's what people in the world look at it. So what are you doing on Shabbos? We're not working. So you're going to end up poor. Menuchas Shabbos. No. The Menuchas Shabbos is something else. The Menuchas Shabbos is because Hashem is here and Hashem is saying, be quiet. Don't do anything. The more quiet it is, the more you can recognize that I'm here. Stop working. Stop doing everything. See that the Shekhinah is here. Adrabah, maybe day bracha, but by doing that, we're not going to have less. We're going to have more. Because when the Shekhinah comes in and we accept the Shekhinah, we're going to get more shefa, because that's the Makor HaBracha. The source of all blessing is the Rebbeinu Shloim. So as long as we just bring him into our homes and bring him into our hearts, so then we can get more bracha. And when is that day? Shabbos. Shabbos is the day Shekhinah comes in. We'll have more shefa. Menuchas Ava. That's what it means, a menucha of Ava. When a person gives, Hashem is giving us. He's giving us the menucha in such a loving way. He's saying, this menucha is not your standard menucha. This menucha is not what's going to lead to being poor, to you losing. This menucha is going to lead you to getting more. For me to give you more. Unidava. Shemenucha Shabbos mevia revach gadol ubracha v'tosefes shefa. Hashem will give generously, much more. Memela avu unidava. Memela, you're going to have a lot more. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to give much more. That's what this menucha is. If we're quiet and we rest, the rest that Hashem wants us to rest, that we should be closer to Him, that we should stop all the mundane things, all the other things, so that we can reconnect back to our life source, which is what when we learn the parak of Menucha, that's what it means, to reconnect back to Hashem, then all the Shef will be rained down upon us. Menuchas Emes. What does it mean, Menuchas Emes? Continuing on to the last paragraph on Daf Kuf Dalid. Menuchas Shabbos hi Menuchas Emes masha enka in a Menucha harigila ba'olam shi mamish Menucha Sheker. Like we discussed in the parak about Menucha, there's Menuchas Emes, a true Menucha, and Menucha Sheker. Menucha, what's the purpose of Menucha? Is to re-energize. If you're running after the thing that's making you more tired, then you're not going to be re-energized. What is making me tired? What's making me tired is what's pulling me away from my life source. And that's the Gashmias of this world. So if I spend my day on Shabbos doing things that run after Gashmias, like, let's say, I want to go to the beach. I want to play basketball. I want to go swimming. I want to have a good time. So are you connecting back to your source? Or you're being more involved with the things that are taking you away from your source? There's a Menuchas Emes and there's a Menuchas Sheker. Somebody who's involved with the business of the world and he gets tired. Why should he get so tired and lose his koyach? Because he's going away from ruchnius. He's too much involved in the gashmis olam hazeh. So he's losing the source of his life. What's he doing now? On Shabbos, b'menucha kedei lahachzir la'atzmo koichosav kedei sheyuchol shuv la'avoda avoda. So he's trying to recharge his battery, connect back to the source of my life, to be able to give me more life. Harei zeh sheker v'silu v'hipuch lekol mohus menucha shekol menucha hayta kedei lahapsik me'esek ha'olam ha'shafel v'nu mishtamish b'menuchas behepech inyana sheyuchol la'achzor la'avodas hagashmis. That's what he's being involved in right now. He's being involved, if he's involved with the inyanim of the world on that day when he's resting, so he's actually moving further away. He's actually using up more of his battery. And he's going to be further away from recharging his battery. That's a Menuchas Sheker. Masha Ein Kein Shabbos. Shabbos is different. Harei is a Menuchas Emes. She Menuchas Shabbos. He bittul esek oilam. The menucha on Shabbos is I'm not involved anymore with the world. V'chazar lekedusha v'leruchnius. I'm coming back to my life source. I'd like to share with the Chevra something beautiful that I saw that's related to this nekuda, and it relates to the idea of tuma and tara. Tuma and tara. Coming up to Yom Noroim, the last Mishnah in Meseches Yuma. Famous Mishnah made into a song, right? More than one song, probably. Ma mikva mitaris Yisrael, ava kodesh baruch ma mikva mitaris tameim, ava kodesh baruch mitaris Yisrael. What is he being mitar us from? Our avoinus, our averis. Kodesh Baruch Hu gives kapara on Yom Kippur. The ideas of tuma and tara relate perfectly to this idea as well. Tuma, the idea of tuma, is that tuma is death. Tuma takes you away from your life source. If you look at every single type of tuma that there is, there's a form of death in it. In every single one. Obviously, tuma mace is the most obvious. Tumas nevela, tumas sheretz also have to do with very clearly, directly death. But even in tumas keri and tumas nida and tumas leda, even tumas leda. Why tumas leda? Because tumas leda is what is the idea of death? Death is when life leaves, right? When the soul leaves the body, that's death. Anytime there's a soul leaving a body, there's death. That's exactly what's happening in tumas leda. There was a soul inside this woman's body, and it left. She becomes tamei leda. The baby is not tamei leda. The baby doesn't have a tumas leda. The mother has a tumas leda. Why? Because she had a soul inside of her, and now the soul left. So she becomes tumas leda. That's what tuma is. Tuma is death. You're moving away from life. Tahara is moving closer to life, is reconnecting back to your life. That's what Tahara is. So that's why it's very appropriate to say that we're being matar ourselves from our averas. The averas is what pulled us away from our source of our life. We can Torah, we can come closer to the source of our life. And the truth is that this idea applies in a lot of places in the Torah. It's a theme that runs through a lot of different things. We don't have, except for Anida and those who toivel for Tumas Keri, we don't really have all the dinim of Tuma and Tara anymore. As Hashem, we can go back to that. We don't understand what it means to be on a level like that. It's brought down, I believe, in the name of the Chidah. I believe it could have been Rav Chaim Vital. Rav Chaim Vital was a Talmud of the Arizal. I don't remember if he said it or the Chidah said it in the name of somebody else. But they say about the Arizal, it says, Libi Oimerli. I don't have a direct Messiah for this, but Libi Oimerli, my heart tells me, how did the Arizal get to such a high level of Kedusha? The Arizal, besides his Torah, which is unbelievable, but he was so young. He was so, how was such a person get to such a high level? He says, Libi Omerli, that Eliyahu Hanavi came and sprinkled him with Mei Para Aduma. And because of that, he was actually able to become Tohor. He was actually able to become Tohor as he was on a much, much higher Madrega than everybody else in the world. And that's how he was able to reach his Madregas. Can you imagine what it means to be Tohor? We can't. We don't know what that means, to be on such a level that you're Mamish Tohor. It's an incredible thing. But that Tara is when we're connecting back to our life source. And who's our life source? The Rebbeinu Shalom. So we have that opportunity on Shabbos to connect back to our life source. Like we mentioned many times, we're going to have a whole parak later on, the connection between Shabbos and the Beis Hamikdash. We mentioned this as an aside here and there. On Tisha B'Av, we mentioned it also. Shabbos is mamish like the Beis Hamikdash. He brings example after example after example in so many different ways. Shabbos is like the Beis Hamikdash. Beis Hamikdash is the kira to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's what we're missing. We need that connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Beis Hamikdash is the connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We can have it on Shabbos. We have that opportunity. Okay, let's go continue on. So we said Menuchas Emes U'Muna. Well, this was an easy one. Mi sheyesh lo anius, somebody who's poor. Miteva hadvarim shmole da'agot al matzavo. Generally speaking, somebody who's poor, he's always worried. What's going to be? I'm going to have parnasa. I don't know. And also, it could ruin his shalom bayis. Somebody who's poor, even the Gemara says that a person should always make sure that he should have tavua, grain. It means bread in his house, because if you don't have tavua in your house, you're going to have issues with shalom bayis, right? Before all the experts said, oh, one of the major problems with family, with fights between husbands and wives is issues with money. Way before all the psychologists and psychiatrists and all the experts said this, we have it written down in our Torah. And even before it was written down, it was Torah Shabbal Peh. We knew this from Doirei Doiris. So if a person doesn't have, he's worried. Nimsa shemanucha tivis hamevia b'teva lidei anius horeses es ha'emuna. Maybe talking about Hashem. So therefore, you tell a guy, don't work. Don't work. But if I don't work, I'm not going to have bread. I'm not going to have. And the people in America 70, 80, 90 years ago really felt this. 100 years ago, they really felt this. If I don't work on Shabbos, I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to have a job. So a person feels that way. But no, it's the exact opposite on Shabbos. Masha'en kein menucha Shabbos adrabah. The menucha of Shabbos is the opposite. Al yedei sheroy shalitas HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'kol ha'olam. Harei ze moisib lo emunah b'tachem b'yeser se'es. Because we know this is the source of bracha. So I know I'm trusting in Hashem. Hashem is going to give to me. Hashem is going to provide me. That is our ikar avodah that we're supposed to be doing on Shabbos in the first place. We mentioned this many times. The ikar avodah on Shabbos is, remember, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world. If He created the world from nothing, He has all the power to do everything. There's no limitations. HaKadosh Baruch Hu can send me parnasa in 8 million different ways. How many times a person say, well, I'll get parnasa this way, and it comes a different way? I don't know. It happens to me. It happens to me all the time. I think I lost money just recently. This past year, I don't want to be mafaret, but just recently, I think I got a very, very big loss of money. A very large loss of money. A couple months ago. Very big loss of money. Very big. Okay, what am I going to do? I'm not getting this money. What am I going to do? Hashem sent money from a different way. Different place. Totally unexpected. Totally. Where did this money come from? Actually, from 2 places. But one of the 2 was a little bit expected. One of them was totally unexpected. So I lost money here. I got money here. I think I'm going to get money from this, and I don't. I get money from something else. Hashem sent it. I like to tell a story of, maybe I've said this story over here. Many years ago when I was learning in Koilin in Yerushalayim, so during lunch I learned with a bacher, and we were learning Chovas Levavo, Shar B'tachon. And as we're sitting there, empty base matches, there's the 2 of us, the mashgiach walks in, and he comes over to me and he hands me something. And I said, what is this? He's like, don't ask questions, just take it. I'm like, but what? Don't ask questions, just take it. It was a check for a very significant sum of money. Don't ask questions, just take the money. Okay, it's for you, that's it. Where'd it come from? Hashem has so many different ways of giving money and taking away money. So many ways of taking away money. There are so many ways of taking away money. You can't even imagine some of these ways of taking away money. They're crazy. It's crazy how many different ways. Who would have thought that this... But that's when we Shabbos, when we stop everything. What is it? Hashem created the world. And if Hashem created the world, he can do anything. Yesh me'ayin, from nothingness. The rules of the world don't apply to him at all. And on Shabbos, we're saying, I'm stopping everything and I'm putting it into your hands, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's where mechazik our emunah. So it's a menucha of emunah. Menucha shalom v'shalva hashkeit v'betach. It's a menucha of peace, of tranquility, of quietness, and of trust. Menucha tivis haregila ba'olam mevia l'idei inius, like we said before, and usually resting, not working, leads to poverty. Umamela lidei merivos, and therefore, if you have poverty, it leads to fights, like we just mentioned a few minutes before. This is the Gemara actually that I was referring to, that it's quoting now. Kishain tvua babayis meriba babayis. I just learned this daf today and yesterday. If there's no food in the house, there's going to be fights. The Gemara says it already. Meriva maybe letako. People are going to get angry. If you don't have food, you're hungry. And if you're hungry, you get irritable. And if you get irritable, every woman knows this. Or I shouldn't say every woman. Every married woman who's been married for more than a certain amount of time knows that you make sure your husband eats before you have an important discussion with him. That is like the key. Because if he didn't eat, then he's going to be irritable. And if he's going to be irritable, no matter what you say or what you ask for, it's not going to go well. Let him eat first. Let him be full. Let him be satisfied. And then bring up whatever topic, this expense or that expense or whatever. But if a person doesn't have food, so Falita fights, Virashim, there'll be a lot of noise in the house. And things will not end up so good. Masha Enkein Shabbos Kodesh. Menuchas Menuchas Ava Nidava. Like we just said before, it's a Menucha of Ava Nidava. V'tosefes bracha, and there's more bracha on Shabbos. We don't necessarily see it right away. That's part of the Nisayon. We don't see it. What do you mean? How did this come through Shabbos? We don't know. But that's part of the Emunah. We know that Hashem, this is where it is. This is where Hashem comes into the world. So if you're there with Hashem, you don't have to ask. The mashal ma'ador v'doimeh. You have a party. You invited the king to the party. Is the king, when he comes to the party, going to give you a check right away? No. He's going to come. He's going to enjoy. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be great. But Mr. King, I spent a lot of money on this party, and I need to cover it. Can you pay me? You're going to ask the king? King said he'll pay. He'll pay. I have to pay the band, and I have to pay the caterer, and I have to pay the singers, and I have to pay the waiters, and I have to pay this one and that one. And what am I going to do? What am I going to do? The king is here. The king is here. Don't worry about it. You're going to get the money. It's going to come. But I'm nervous. If we see Shabbos, Hashem is going to take care of it. Do we see it on Shabbos that I got the money? Most of the time, not. Will it come later? Yeah, it will. When? I don't know. Maybe when you least expect it. Maybe after you're about to give up and all of a sudden it's there. Maybe. We don't know. But that's what it means. Menuchas Ava, Nidava, Menuchas Emes U'Muna. Memela, Mevia Itam Shalom B'Shalva Hashkeit V'Betach. You know that Hashem is giving it to you, then you'll be calm. I know that Hashem is going to take care of me. Because I know He has all the power to do everything. I have that emunah. So then I'm b'shalva. I'm calm. I know Hashem is going to do it. I'm resting because I know Hashem is here. And when I know Hashem is here, the king is here. You don't have to worry about payment. You don't. The payment will be done. V'od gam hashkeit v'vetach michashash oyivim aboyim l'gzol l'shvoch dam noki. We're not worried about the enemy coming. Umimachlos v'soinos chas v'sholem. We're not worried about anything else happening. Does that mean a person doesn't get sick on Shabbos? No, a person can get sick on Shabbos. It happens. So what does it mean? It means that if I know Hashem is here with me, I know this is the best thing that can happen to me. That's what a real bitachon is. Bitachon is not that it's not going to happen. It's that if it happens, I know it's the best thing. I know that it's the best thing. Hashem is here. Menuchas Shabbos mikareves says the Adam LaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because now we're closer. By stopping to work, we're closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So if I'm with Hashem, I'm not worried. Mikol marin bishin. V'rach bracha v'oineg nachlas tamid. Right? If there's a family, they're running away from the Nazis. They're running to this place and they're running to that place. And there's a whole family here. Their parents, their children, there's even a little baby. And they're nervous. This one, who's the most calm of all the people here? The baby. The baby. What? Because he doesn't know. You know what he knows? The baby knows, I'm in my mother's arms. That's what I know. I'm in my mother's arms. What else do I need to know? So if we know we're in Hashem's arms, then that's it. What I have to worry about? Hashem's taking care of me. It's kedai every single day to be choizer on the 7 nekudas that the Chovas Levavos brings for bitachon. Very, very kedai. I try to do it every single day. What are the 7 nekudas of bitachon? The first nekuda is that Hashem loves me. And I think about it for a second. Not just Hashem's love. Not just Hashem love. Hashem loves me more than anybody else loves me. More than I love anybody else. More than all the love of every person who loves everybody else put together. That's how much Hashem loves me. But to make it more real, think about somebody that I love. Think about that I love my child, wife, parent, whoever it is. Hashem loves me more than that. I know how much I love them. And Hashem loves me more than that. That's number one. Think about it all the time. Hashem loves me. Number two is Hashem's always with me. Every single second, I'm never going to be in a place and that I'm in trouble and Hashem's not going to be there with me. Hashem's with me everywhere I go, every single thing. Hashem's with us everywhere. He never sleeps. Number three is Hashem has all the power to do anything. Anything. And that's the whole inyan of Shabbos. Hashem has all the power to do everything. He can break every single rule because He made rules. And to Him they aren't rules. Number four is that Hashem knows what the absolute best thing for me is. So it's true. He can break every rule, but He's still only going to do for me the best thing for me. The most proper best thing for me, for my life. That's what He's going to give me. Number five is that my whole life He's been with me up until this point. Every step that happened to me in the past was from Hashem. So you know how He saved me over there and He saved me over there? He has a good track record already. It's a good track record. Doesn't mean I didn't have difficult times in my life. But you know what? Even there Hashem was with me. And He did it for a reason. Sometimes I know the reason. Sometimes I don't know the reason. But I know it's for the best. Because Hashem does the best for me. And I know He's with me every step. He's a good track record. Number six, there's nobody else but Him. Ein Od Milvado. That's it. Who else am I going to rely on? There is nobody else. Who are we relying on? We're relying on Bibi. We're relying on Trump. We're relying on Biden. Who are we relying on? We're relying on the Mossad. We're relying on the IDF. Who are we relying on? There's nobody else. There's nobody else to rely on. Only on Hashem. And number seven is that we have to realize, even if I don't deserve it, Hashem will do it anyway. You might go all through all the first six. All about Hashem. They're all about Hashem. But there's one problem. Hashem is great. Hashem was wonderful. Hashem is all of those things. But what about me? I don't deserve it. It's very nice that Hashem loves me. He's with me all the time. He has the power. He knows exactly the right things for me. Taka has a good track record with me. And there is nobody else to rely on but Him. But I don't deserve it. Why would He do it for me if I don't deserve it? And on that, they have to have bitachon that it doesn't matter. Hashem will give you even if you don't deserve it. These are the 7 kolalim that the Chovas Levavos brings in Shar Bitachon of Bitachon. And this is what fits in right here, that we know on Shabbos, all of these things are true, maybe even to the exponentially. Because not only is Hashem is here with me, He's actually here with me now. Shabbos much more than any other time. And He loves me. And He wants to have that kesher, the bris abba of Shabbos. And there is nobody else but Him. That's the whole yesod of the yichud of Hashem. Ein Od Milvado. There is nobody else here except for Hashem. The yesodas are in Shabbos. The warmer mechazik and these emunas and these inyanim of Emunah on Shabbos, the more we're going to feel it all the rest of the week, all the time. That will really change a person's life. It will change a person's life completely, to the point where people can do amazing, amazing things because of their bitachon, their emunah bitachon, amazing things that they can do. And it really makes an impact, but it's not necessarily seeable right away. We can't see it the first second. Something that has to be worked on and instilled into our heart. The more we work on and instill into our heart, over the long term, you really will see a difference. A person will become a happier person. A person will become a more secure person, a less nervous person. And overall, his life will be so much better because now he has a better connection with Hashem. Okay, so we didn't get to finish this parak, but as Hashem, next week I hope we'll finish. Go ahead.
Thank you for joining Real Judaism, where we explore Torah's wisdom for real life. Created by J Foundations and produced by Eli Podcast Productions. Find more episodes at realjudaism.org and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.